The average fuel consumption, C, of a car in kilometres per litre is given by this formula, C equals D over F, where D is the distance travelled in kilometres and F is the fuel used in litres. We're told that D is 190, correct to 3 significant figures, and F is 25.7, correct to 1 decimal place. By considering bounds, work out the value of C to a suitable degree of accuracy. You must show all of your working out and give a reason. Okay, so I want to consider the upper bound of C and the lower bound of C. The upper bound of C, I'll call it CU, will be the upper bound of the distance, so du, divided by the lower bound of the fuel consumption. I want to do the biggest that D can be divided by the smallest that F can be. That will give me my biggest answer for C. I also want to work out the lower bound for C, so I want to do the lowest that D can possibly be divided by the biggest that F can possibly be. That will give me my lower bound for the fuel consumption. Okay, so I want to work out what each of these are. So let's work out the upper bound for the distance and the lower bound for the fuel consumption. So let's come up here. We had D as being 190, and that's correct to 3 significant figures. So that means the upper bound for that would have been 190.5. That's the biggest that D could have possibly have been if it rounds to 190 to 3 significant figures. And the lowest would be 189.5. That's the smallest that D could have been if it rounds to 190 to 3 significant figures. For the fuel used, the upper bound would be 25.75 and the lower bound would be 25.65. So let's substitute these bounds into the formula to work out the upper bound for the fuel consumption. So upper bound of the distance is 190.5. Lower bound for the fuel used is 25.65. For the lower bound for the fuel consumption, the lower bound of the distance travelled is 189.5. The upper bound for the fuel used is 25.75. So let's use our calculator and work out what both of these are. So 190.5 divided by 25.65, we get 7.426900584 and so on. For the lower bound for the fuel consumption, we get 189.5 divided by 25.75, which gives 7.359223 and so on. So that is the upper bound for the fuel consumption. So we know it cannot be anything, it cannot be bigger than that. That's the lower bound for the fuel consumption. It can't be lower than that. So now we need to give a value of C based on these and explain why. Well, we know the answer is going to be somewhere in between here, and we know that all of the numbers that are between 7.359 and 7.426, all of the numbers in between these two would always round to 7.4. Every number between here and here rounds to 7.4. So my answer is going to be 7.4 to 1 decimal place. And my reason, because all numbers between my bounds round to 7.4. I can't be any more accurate than that. I can't go to 2 decimal places because this rounds to 7.36, this rounds to 7.43, so we can't be any more accurate than that. That is my final answer, and that's the reason why.